Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Nail Source Educators Workshop. I'm so thankful that you've decided to go to the next level and share your knowledge with everybody else. And in return to all the time that we have to invest, you get rewarded. You get paid back for doing this. And it's amazing how it all comes together in the end, but it takes time. So I'm going to bring on our
Hi, honey. How are we
how
doing?
are you?
I'm
I
great.
feel so bad. You guys have to know that Anita, because it's a holiday, yesterday I was talking to her. She's sitting at her little vacation place that they own. It's next to it looks like the ocean beach, but it's a nice lake with her boat and all of that. And I asked her, I'm like, hey, do you want to go live with me and do some videos today? And she was like, yep, on my way home. She left her little vacation thing to go home, get ready, and come live and do this. That's dedication right there. I adore you so very much.
Nails first.
It's not that way, and you know that. We talk about that all the time. Hello, Deb. So good afternoon. And if you're watching this on replay, please know that you can still ask questions. So I'm going to introduce you guys. So you guys know that we switched from Perfect 10 Advanced Nail Workshops, which was something that I kind of had on my own. But I've learned that when we grow together in a team and you find the right team members, when you come together, it's powerful. Anita Hug Jones and I have had this idea for well over a year,
A
maybe
year?
close
Yeah,
to 2 years
a year.
of what we've been wanting to do. And I realized that we were kind of each doing our own thing individually. And it was be in the same platform, be in the same type of thing. We both had the same goals, the same vision, the same views. And we were like, why don't we try to do this together? And you learn this part of it, I'll learn this part of it, and let's collaborate. And that's what we did. And I'm telling you, what we have, and so we changed it all to the nail source. You guys know, which is within the last month, and it has blown up. It's
It
been
has. It
amazing.
has.
So
It's
I want to introduce you to Anita Hug Jones, our co-creator of the nail source.
well, hello everybody.
Hello. So Anita, tell I know everything about you, and of course, if you guys haven't seen, I've done two Tech Talk lives with Anita Hug Jones talking about her career. But do you want to give a brief bio about yourself and introduce yourself to our lovely educators?
Sure. So I'll introduce myself more on the education side since that's kind of what we're really talking about. So I'll give you stories on that end of my career. So let's see, I've been a nail tech, I like to say just over 25 years. It's just a safe, it sounds kind of nice. And I've always
Doesn't
just,
give our complete age away.
right, exactly. It's the nicer, kinder way to say it. Um, so what I've kind of found from the get-go is I hit the floor running with chasing the education. Went to school and then just that was it. It was like the beginning. It was like every person that I chased all had to do with education. So the first person that I met in my career right off the rip, which I think I was just truly blessed, was Tony Cuccio. And it's probably my favorite story about the education because it was my first show right out of beauty school. And it was at like the Marriott, and he was just doing a presentation. So I went with my blue little suit and a briefcase because I'm like dress business type, right? And I walk in and everyone's like sweatpants, casual. I'm like, am I in the wrong class? Like, where am I? So I'm like, okay, well, obviously I'm going to stand out, but oh well. So I sat up front. And I remember as I was getting ready, I could hear this buzz in the background, like, who's that girl? And I could hear Tony saying, like, who's her? Who is she? Like, what company does she own? Or what does she run? Does she own the distributors around here? And I'm
He doesn't
like,
have a silent voice, so I'm quite sure you could hear that very well.
oh yeah, I was like, what? And so long story short, set up front and he noticed me and he basically took me aside and he's like, so who are you? And I'm like, who am I? I'm like, I'm Anita. And I gave a little like talk and we exchanged words, and he's like, yeah, meet me in the room after the class. And I'm like, really? And he's like, oh yeah. And I remember going to his room after, and he had a contract on his bed. And he's like, yep, you're going to work at New Day and you're going to run it and you're going to be my educator up here. I'm like, yeah, I'm not educated. And he goes, yep, I'm sending you to New Jersey. You're going to get certified. And I was only like 18 years old. It was just crazy. And so that was one story. And then I did that for a long time. And then I worked, actually, I was lucky. He made me work like two or three major shows. And then I remember sitting down with him at a show, and I'm like, Tony, I think it's time for me to compete. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I said, I want to be known in the industry. And he's like, well, you are known. I go, no, I'm not. I'm just known as Tony's girl or a star nail educator. I'm like, there's more. And he's like, okay. And he goes, well, what do you think you need to do to get noticed? I go, I need to compete. I need to get a name for myself, and I need to prove that I walk the walk and I talk the talk. So I need to go do this. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'll always be here if you need me. I'm like, I appreciate that. And so I remember driving from Albany, New York, where I'm from, and to Pennsylvania. And I wanted, at the time, Trang Nguyen from Odyssey Nail System was the champion. And I remember I just needed to go. I'm like, I'm going to go compete nails. Not a clue on how to do pink and whites, like not competition style, like was awful. So Vicky Peters actually ran that competition. It was the last time Trang was going to compete. I stayed up till 3 in the morning in the lobby to meet him because I wanted to be his model. And he didn't show till 3:40, which if I only waited those 10 more minutes, I would have seen him. I missed him by 10 minutes. But I got up, I went to the competition, and I totally bombed. I think I placed last, so hey, kudos for the last place winner. And I remember Vicky saying, like, you don't have what it takes to compete. You really need to be a judge. I'm like, no, I haven't tried yet. And I remember going outside and I started crying, and Trang's like, what's the matter? I'm like, Vicky Peters just told me I don't have what it takes, and it's time for me to judge and not do this. And he's like, well, where are you from? I'm like, New York. And he's like, well, how long did it take for you to get here? And I go, 6 hours. He goes, you drove 6 hours? I go, oh no, I drove 6 hours to meet you. I said, and I want you to train me. And he goes, I don't train nail techs. I go, you're going to train me. And he's like, no, I don't have time. I'm leaving. And he gave me his full schedule for 7 months. And I'm like, yeah, you're going to find time for me. And he's like, yeah, no. And I remember Vicky saying he doesn't teach anybody, doesn't do that. I go, okay, I'll make you a deal. I go, will you come back in the room and show me? At least critique my nails. And he's like, okay. So we went back into the room and he critiqued my nails. And next thing, and I don't even know how it happened, but it was so organic. Next thing I know, I've got Trang teaching all 10 of us how to do competition nails. And it was like, I'm like, I just made this guy do something he said he would never do. I'm like, okay, that was the beginning. And literally for 2 weeks, I chased him down. I called him every single day. And within 2 weeks, I was at his house and he trained me. And, went to my first competition in Orlando, Florida, competed, placed, got my trophy, got on the competition team. I was the weakest link, and he still took me on. Out of 50 contestants, I was number 5, and I became head of his education. So I chased the education. So, I mean, my story is something that Trang kind of said over and over again, which is, I really don't care who you are. If you're willing to learn and you change your mindset, I can teach you. So I think that's what has always led me to where me and you are today, right? I
Yeah.
don't care where anybody is that joins our platform and says they can't do it. I don't want to hear it because I think that's just a cop out. I think it's just linking up with the right people. And I think you can learn from different educators. And I think when you take so many different classes, all of a sudden it just clicks one day. It all does come together, but you have to practice. And that's the key. And I think the beauty now with the way we're educating, where you have videos, you can actually watch, take notes, stop, go do it, come back, watch, and through that, it's so beyond powerful. I mean, I've done the numbers of what it costs to go to a show these days, and I don't care which way you slice it, it's $1,000 to every single show between driving, flying, room,
Mhm.
money, food, all of it. It's always a thousand
Yeah.
dollars. So I think it's mind blowing when somebody says, "Oh, that cost is too expensive. It's $200." I'm like, okay, but your airfare to get to a show is $300 to $400. Then you need $100 to get into the show right now. Like right
Mhm.
now, I think Premiere Philadelphia, it's $75 to walk into the show.
Yeah.
Just to
Well,
just to
and you're
walk in.
joining, you're
Right.
going to Premiere so we can finally meet face to face. So you're driving 6 hours so that we
Yeah.
can meet up. But your motel room's $350. Plus you have to pay to get in the show. I'm fortunate, like your story, I was sought out by Light Elegance. And
Right.
so just like yours, I didn't have to go chasing it. Organically, it came to me, but I can tell you all of the companies I've been in the past, I had to chase. I had to
Right.
take all of their master classes. I had to do all of these things, and I still never got to be a part of the big team.
Right.
And so it took being a part of the team for you to feel like you excelled. It took part of being a part of the team to feel
Yes.
like you were successful with that. And if you
Correct.
weren't a part of the team, you felt like you were left out and,
Right. Yeah.
you weren't able to grow. And that's the key of what we're doing is we're creating a team of people with those like-minded, and we're all giving each other a chance to be able to grow without having to be, brought on from, some big company. But I love what you talked about with the team because if Tran wouldn't have picked you up and pulled you a part of that team, what would have happened with your career? You still have drive, but
Yeah.
that everything you learned and that took you to Young Nails. You've graced the covers of magazines. You've been,
Yes.
oh my gosh, you've had such a great career.
Yeah.
And I shared with the members of our group that I've had health issues, and thank goodness it was for these online workshops that gave me an income during that time. And you and I
Right.
talked every day during that time because you too had had health
Yeah.
issues, pulled away from people for months and had to completely rebuild. And
Right.
so we get it. We
Hmm.
understand. But we also know that there's a drive within us
Yes.
that if we pull together and we continue to, create a new platform like nobody else is doing,
Right.
and we set the standards for other nail techs who cannot travel. Maybe it's family, maybe it's health, maybe it's financial,
Right.
but continuing to set those standards, we can give them an option to still do our trainings. We're still
Correct.
traveling, still doing the shows, but it's
Right.
another option for them. It's been phenomenal. I've been doing it my online stuff for about 2 years. I've learned a lot
Right.
through the ups and downs, the process of it. Is that your honey?
The privileges of like doing things at home. It's
Did you,
I
she likes that.
I
okay.
love it. I love it. And I don't edit anything. Whatever
Right. So this
people
will
in
just
your
go worldwide. Great.
yep,
Welcome to my
that's
crazy
it.
family.
I love it. And exactly that. Our family is also a part of our team of building us up and all of that as well. Um, Deb, yes, you said you didn't realize that Anita was partnering. So it's just been announced in the last month, I think, when we changed it to the Nail Source. And so if you
Right.
go to the website, you will see everything is completely changed. The workshops are still the same, but there's a
Right.
lot more about what our vision is with the Nail Source and all of that.
Right.
Um,
And where it's
Deb
going.
also says, Amen, sister. I feel like it's a beginning to click for me, with the help of both of you, that is. And Deb, that's what it takes. It takes us pulling together. As you well know, you're an educator and a distributor as well. So you know what it takes to pull people together to be successful.
Right.
We can't have, nail shows would not be successful if you didn't pull all these companies together in
Correct.
one room
Right.
to be able to share their education. So
Right.
it's like we're doing like a nail show on a website forum.
Right. Right. And
Yeah.
every person, like even when you go to a nail show, you think about it. There's every manufacturer brings something so different to the platform, right? I remember when I first started, it was like Creative Nail was the team to be on, and everybody wanted to be on Creative Nail Design because they were the flashy, the product that worked, the billions of dollars on great educators and all the above. And then little by little, all the other teams or other companies came on board, but you needed that variety, you know, and then you had, you know, Tom Holcomb and Tom Bachek going, you know, collaborating together, right? Powerful. And so at these shows, that's where, you know, you actually see what we're doing. We're taking like a mini show and we're bringing it right here. Exactly like what you're saying, Amy. Like
Yeah.
it's a bit like you have the technical part, right? You have all of the, you know, showing how to do things with the classes,
Work.
right? And then I have, you know, I've been so blessed that, you know, I've been around, you know, all of the owners of all these major companies. Like I'm so close to Tony. I'm still, you know, in touch with Young Nail. And, you know, I've had the privilege of, you know, Jan Arnold flying me to California and sitting with her, which was powerful. And being in the lab with Doug Schoon. I mean, I've just had these privileges of, you know, Danny from Easy Flow. I just like I've had that. So like I have the manufacturing background of education and how the tiering of how to become an educator, what it takes to get closer. So I have that behind me. You have the other side. All of us bringing all of this together. The only thing that's going to happen to every single person that joins this platform is it's going to go and it's gonna blow up because it takes all of these little bricks to become this solid wall. And it's every single person that comes on this platform is going to be just a foundation, like a really good foundation to build a great wall. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you have, right? You know, whether it's your side, my side, or whatever, you know, product or knowledge that you have. It doesn't sometimes have to be about nails. It could be the business side. It could be the retail side. It could be software side. I mean, there's so many different things that this platform is going to bring. I just see so many
Yeah.
different levels coming. So it's
Yeah,
exciting.
it's fun because through Tech Talks, you know, I get to meet a lot of different people at different
Right.
angles. And so I'm talking with Catherine Fleming from Nails Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
She, you know, is going to do an article on this, talking with, you know, Stephanie Mitchell with Sunny Storm Marketing. She's trying to see how she can fit in such that she can help with the branding side of it and
Right.
help do workshops that way. I mean, so there's a niche for each of us. However,
Right.
the one thing that we will not do, because we understand that it would not be fair, is if you are an educator for a certain company, and that's what we're bringing on is educators who have had additional training from a company that you have created an expertise and that you're willing to share that education. And then from there, we work with you on creating your workshop and all of that.
Right.
Once you've made that connection and we think that you're right fit, you'll do an interview with Anita and I, and then we can bring you on board for the nail source and then talk to you about, you know, how the commissions go and how it runs, which I
Right.
kind of touched base already in a video yesterday. And so, oh, I forgot where I was going to go with that.
Oh, it's like our daily talks.
If you're, I know, right? If you are with a company, so like for instance, Anita is an educator for Cuccio. Okay. If Anita wants to do online videos teaching Cuccio, then we're not going to bring on another educator for Cuccio.
Right.
That's not right. That's not fair. Just
Right.
like if you went to a trade show, you're not going to have 2 or 3 booths of the exact same company.
Correct.
But you could be an educator like me, where I do a lot more just nail art using a variety of products. So therefore, it's not a competition there. Um, it's we want to keep it fair for everybody. So it's not like
Right.
we're bringing on just everybody. That's not what we're doing. We're
Right.
very picky and choosing who we're bringing in and
Right.
making sure that you want to do your workshops where it's a little bit interactive. The people don't just get put into your workshop and left alone.
Right.
You're
This
there
is
as an educator, just
right.
like at a show. We
Yep.
want you to communicate, answer questions. You can go live like what we're doing, which I
Right.
taught you how to go live in your group. Do live Q&A, bring on a special guest, which is in that bundle too. And anyway, so there's a lot that you can do using your voice and your knowledge.
Right.
Deb
So
says it totally makes
right, it's
love it.
more being a mentor, right? So if you're like for me, you're right. I'm an educator for Cuccio, but I'm also I've taken the next level of education with them, which is I teach educators how to teach their classes. So, one of the things that we will request from you when you want to come onto our team is that you need to show us your certification from your company. So, like for me, when I come to you and I say, okay, I'm going to represent Cuccio, here's my certificate. It's signed by the owner. It's signed by the international educator team. Like, it's to prove that you have taken your classes. That's going to protect you too, because if someone's going to ask you something and you don't know, and then we don't want that. We want it to be, you need to talk the talk and walk the walk. That's one of the biggest things that's part of this platform.
Yeah, exactly that. Because if you're going to teach a workshop on that product line and the company, you kind of need to know the ins and outs of the company and how, like for me with like Elegance, I get to talk to Jim, who's a chemist, and I can get some answers that way. And even if you don't have the chemist of your company, you need to know who to talk to in your company to be able to get the answers to help out the people that are in your workshops.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's important for you to stay not just as you need to stay active in those companies. And and here's the hard thing is a good friend of mine is very active in her company, and she is the educator of educators for the product line, and they don't have the communication like that. And so it's taken us teaming up outside of that to continue with the education and getting her connected with, for instance, like Jim, so that she can get continuing education on the product line that she's doing.
Right.
And we can team up together to help each other with that as well.
Right.
And so there's lots of advantages when we create a team like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing,
you better know your ins and outs.
Right.
Yeah.
And too, like one of the things that would happen with, we'll say person A that we're talking about, is you never know where that's going to lead, right? So her not having a company support her, but she's got the education knowledge behind her, that makes, and I'm speaking from knowing all the manufacturers that I know, that you become a diamond. And I'm telling you, there are very few diamonds in this industry. So when you get to the level of that, you're voicing and you're all of the above, you're that diamond, right? You're the pretty little package. You have the education, the looks, the this, the that, and all of it. Manufacturers will go after you, so there's so many folds that will happen. So if you feel that you're not a fit for the company that you're with, doesn't mean leave the company. It just means branch out and see what else could happen, because she might be the new voice on changing the company and how they should structure themselves. And be the lead of maybe that.
In this particular story, she found that the owner really just isn't in it anymore. And so she's making the strides to actually buy the company. But then she needs to know, like, okay, wait a minute. How do I do the manufacturing side? How do I do this? And it's become even bigger because all these doors open when we pull together as a team.
They do.
And she said, I would not have pursued this or looked at it in the way if I would not have opened up to you and shared with you what was going on. And it was like, look at this a different angle. You have an opportunity now to make this company yours. And it's an existing humongous company.
Yeah.
But when somebody loses passion and they lose your drive, like you said, that diamond in the rough, you get to be that.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to build the following. You have to create your business page and your website, create all of these and take the time to build it strong, pull a team together, and then just powerhouse it. And that's exactly what we've been able to do.
Right. And you don't know where it leads you. Because if you keep on moving, and the doors will be shown. I'm a firm believer, even if the path doesn't make sense at the time, like getting sick or any of that, there's a reason for every single step, and you will know in time.
Yeah.
And
it's so true. And I've realized that anytime I've pushed for something that just was not the easy route, it never was the right choice.
It's not meant to be, right?
Yeah. And then I sit back a year later and go, I just need more patience. And people tell me all the time, you're so patient. No, I'm not.
No, neither am I.
I have However, I can say that keeping those doors open and not just going
Mhm.
and not listening, and no matter who it is, I can tell you, even if I've taken the same podcast or listened to the same podcast, taken the same class, my mindset is different every single time I listen or go to
Yeah.
it, and then I learn something more. And um, I'm thankful that I don't stay closed-minded, and neither do you. That's one of the
Mm-mm.
things that's kind of us together, is that we're both so open-minded and just throw out ideas and then go, okay, we like that one.
Yeah.
Oh, like you should have seen us when we were coming up with the name for the nail source.
It was good, wasn't it?
I loved it. You should talk about collaboration, but that's what it takes. And so
Right.
in this workshop, I just want you to know that Anita and I are both here for you. We'll answer any questions that we have that
Yeah.
can help you build your workshop up to be the best. And then when you finally have it all set up, like I said, we can do a red pen review where you can
Mhm.
invite, us in. We can look through it, make sure, like, yes, this looks good, or hey, you never even added your bio or anything about you. There's not a picture of your face, only of your hands,
Right.
and help you set that up for success. Anita's very good at looking at the marketing side of it and how the overall look and appearance of things. I, can help you with the workshop side of it. And so we're here together as a team to be able
Mhm.
to help you as well, and hopefully bring you a part of our team as well. So,
Right. Yeah, there's lots. I feel like there's lots of. I I feel like something big's going to happen probably after Philadelphia show. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling. So I don't know if it's besides the
yeah.
fact that we get to meet finally.
I
Um,
know. Oh my goodness. We have tried a few times to figure out how we were going to do this. And then just recently I found out that Light Elegance is sending me to Premiere Philadelphia to be able to promote my genre kit that they're doing. And I messaged Anita and she was like, that's only 6 hours away. And I'm like, only? Like, that's a long ways. And she's like, I don't care. I'm coming.
I'm done.
And so she's making a 12-hour round trip drive, spending $350 on a motel, going to the show, going to do all this, which is exactly what we do as an independent when we go to a show.
Yeah.
We look at the overall thing, the time away from work and all of that. But what's your benefit?
Hmm.
The knowledge, the meeting of the people that we get to see. And
Right.
online, we can make these true connections. I can tell you that through my workshops, I have made so many true friend connections.
Hmm.
That's unbelievable. That builds that inner team up. It doesn't mean that we're going to team up business wise, but inner team of the heartfelt part, and
Right.
we understand the nail industry team. And so,
Right.
um, I love it. You said the other day, we'd like to, do something with Nail Boss. And I was like, oh, it's already copyrighted. But
I
I
know
can
it.
tell you, I love the idea of Nail Boss because it really is taking control and being the boss.
Boss.
But
Right.
every boss is only successful from the team that they have around them. And so once again,
True.
it just goes back to the team. And so I wish that that was a term that we could phrase. However, dang it. Yeah, but I liked it.
We'll still be playing on those words. I'm not giving up. There's still something that'll happen. It'll come to us, I'm
Okay,
sure. I know it.
so Deb said, so far, the little that I've been working in the workshop units has been really easy. It is easy to set them up. It's just time. You're
Hmm.
a great instructor. Looking forward to taking courses with you as well, Anita. So,
Oh,
yay.
awesome.
Thank you,
Yes,
Deb.
I have a course we're putting together right now, and it's going to be a little bit different than nail oriented. It's going to be more on gratitude. So basically, I've taken this huge marketing business class that I've taken, and the first thing that has to happen before you do anything is you've got to get here. So we've got to reestablish the mind. So I'm making a class that's going to shift the mindset. And once you shift the mindset, that's when everything happens. So that you have to have that first. So that's the foundation of any class you take. So, if I had the wrong attitude and I took an Amy class, it wouldn't work. If I had the right mindset and I knew exactly what my mindset had to be to get to Amy's class to make it powerful. I love when people say I took that class and I didn't get anything. Well, I can without even knowing you, I can tell you exactly what happened. You didn't
Yeah.
have the right mindset, and that's why
Yeah.
that class didn't work. So,
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the educator, or maybe it does, but majority of the time it's the mindset.
Yeah, which you guys know that every workshop that I do, there's a day that I go in there to kind of, I call it fuel the fire. I
Hmm.
go in there to remind people why they signed up and that
Hmm.
they need to be active in that workshop, communicate with
Right.
me, tell me what's going on, did life happen and kind of take over and pull you away, and or did you get in the workshop and you just got a little overwhelmed because you don't understand the technology as well, and
Right.
so you didn't know about units, you didn't know about these groups, and it's ever changing and all
Right.
of that.
True.
But you know what? Our industry is the same way.
Exactly.
If you're not staying up with the trends and you're not staying up with everything, you're going to be left behind. So it
Absolutely.
really is important for us to pull together and share that knowledge. Deb had actually mentioned on here as well about, oh, where did it go? The marketing side of it.
Hmm.
And so, yes, Anita has invested so much time and finances into going the next level of marketing. And it's unreal what she has coming up and the workbooks that she's putting together and all of that. And so I'm excited for when you can get those into workshops and get that going. And so the nail source is just beginning.
Right. This
It's
is
just
just
at its beginning level.
right.
What it has from here and what we want it to do is a lot larger. And so I'm excited, and I thank you guys for joining into this workshop and wanting to also grow your business and be a part of something bigger as a team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just sharing with Amy, I think it was Saturday, that it is so new that we didn't think that eyes were on us already. And to remember this. Okay, so Saturday, I'm sitting by the water, my peaceful moment with my coffee, and I'm like just checking out to see what things are doing. And I'm like, Amy, we need to talk right now. She's like, what's the matter? I'm like, we've got eyeballs on our site already. And she's like, what are you talking about? I go, just want to let you know, Mr. Cucci himself has said, go for it, and was putting a thumbs up and love it. And I'm like, it's starting. Like
Yeah.
the big wigs are already watching us, and they love our momentum. So
Yeah. So I had this. So Susie Moscow messaged me 2 nights ago. I think I told you, and
yeah,
she was like, "Well, what are you doing? What do you got going on? Huh?" She goes, "Because she's been wanting me to go to Canada and do a show with her. And when we met in Vegas at the IBS show, we stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning talking because we too were just connected,
right,
And I hate the idea that we were in Vegas for 4 hours together and all we did was talk like business. We talked some family and stuff like that, but it was because that's how connected we were. Um, I'm actually going to go live later on. She sent me a new product that she sent out, and it's an apron, and it says "Nuke It" on
oh,
it,
I
and
love
it's
it.
hilarious. And so, anyways, I'm going to with that. But Susie wanted to know so badly what we were doing because she was like, "I kind of like where you're going with this." And she has an online magazine, and she was like, "You write out into detail what you're doing, and I want to feature this because I really like the vision of what you have going on." And the only way that I can really explain it is it's not just online workshops. It's allowing people, like what we said earlier, it's like you've gone to a trade show, but you're going to this website. You don't have to pay to get into the website. And you're going through all the workshops, which is all the booths, and you're picking out which one's the best fit for you, which one do you want
Right.
to invest in, and kind of going for it and getting to
Yeah.
meet that educator, just like a trade show.
Right.
And she was like, I love it.
It's
I,
like
I, I,
it's a trade
what
show
can I do to
online. Yeah.
yeah. And so when you said the eyes are on us, boy, and then I get, all these additional messages every now and then, and I'm like, wow, I just messaged this yesterday, and there's already over 4,000 people that saw this post, and there's over 400 comments on it, and I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
what?
Yeah. Amy, we were just tossing the idea around. Who would have known?
Here it is. So once again, I don't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to introduce Anita to you guys and let you guys know that we're here together. We both have our strengths and our expertise. We've both worked with many companies. We've
Mhm.
both been in the industry for over 25 years. We've both been salon owners. Anita's been on the competition team I'm the one that never knew that I needed a team at the time. And then life happened and I never did get back into the competitions. And to be honest with you, it's not where my passion is at all. And so I'm definitely more of a salon tech. But when it comes to helping you set up your workshops, the best way is for you to be interactive. So
Yes.
I can only be as interactive and answer your questions as you are. If you're
Right.
silent and you're not posting in the group, I think that you don't need help.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have to be active. Sometimes in the comments, you have to tag Anita or I
Right.
in to where it highlights our name. If not, it doesn't send us a notification.
Right.
And so, and we can't keep up with all the comments in all of the groups. And
Right.
so make sure you tag us or you can private message us if you have any questions along the
Right.
way. Other than that, it's your turn. Like
Right.
tag your it. All the information is in this workshop.
Yep.
It's your time to go through the videos, get it put together. Now, every phone is going to be different. Every app is going to look a little
Right.
bit different. I did do a Google search today to find out about tablets, iPads, and all that. So iPads are created where you have to download apps to be able to do each feature.
Right.
There's additional things that you have to do. I'm not saying it's not able to be done that way, but it's going to be harder. It's going to be
Right.
worth it to use your computer
Use
to do the
your
additional
desktop.
setup.
Yep.
Yeah, and so there are ways around it. But like I said, mine says like create group. Some people might have a plus sign. Some people are the upper right hand corner, and then it will say what was the other one that somebody said it wasn't considered groups, which all of Facebook is, it's international. So they've made it very simple for people of all languages to be able to create these groups. And so it's all this stuff is there. It just might have a little bit of a different verbiage. Oh, I know what it was. Sometimes in people's groups, the units are called learning, and sometimes it's called units.
Yep.
But they're the same. They're social learning units.
Right.
And so know that that's the same thing. It just might be a different verbiage on your app or however it is. And so we can work through that, but just be active and ask questions and all of that. So
Right.
yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, this is your
Yay.
time. It's if you put in the work at this point of reaching out and asking questions and being honest with yourself, right? Like you really need to be honest with, like, I really don't get this, or this is my weakest point and this is where I want to grow. And you know what? If you write it out and you make it, you voice it, you write it, and that's the only way it's going to change. So if you're stuck with expecting, you know, both Amy and I to sit here and do it for you, you're not learning. You know, put the questions in, but do the work. The work has to be done for you because as much as you're struggling with it, you're going to learn something from that. That's what this is all about. It's about learning it, you know, learn it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can tell you, like I said earlier, is Facebook is set up, and of course, Facebook bought Instagram this year.
Right.
So it's all changing. And so the messenger that you have for Facebook is also going to be accessed
To
the same way
Instagram.
with Instagram. So it's going to be Instagram and Facebook Messenger. And so there's lots of additional marketing things to do through that. You guys can see some examples on that Perfect 10 Advanced Now workshop where if they type in the comments, it puts in them an automated system in the messenger bots and all of that. And so that's a whole other workshop that we cover with that. That's a bigger marketing thing that ties in something bigger than your regular workshops. But,
that's like the granddaddy workshop. That's like,
maybe I need to drink my coffee because my brain is not working right yet.
well, the one thing that's new on Instagram too, if I don't know if anybody's seen it, but now it's Instagram TV. So you can actually take, instead of going into a feed, you go into the TV video part of it. So that's where you can see that it's where Facebook is, that's a Facebook thing. So you can see that that's where that happened. So, you know, you can do the TV and then you can go in the feed. So just like Facebook right now, you can go into a story or you can go in a feed, you know. So there's all these steps and you got to be like, and it's a lot of work. You've got to be everywhere. Like if you want to be noticed.
And once you have your Facebook business page and then you have your Instagram, there's an option on there after you set it up that every time you post into the Instagram, it will automatically
Automatically
post
go.
into the Facebook
Mhm.
page. And so now you're being able to advertise into both with one post.
Right.
And that
Is,
is
well,
life-changing for
right.
me.
Yeah.
So I can tell you, Andrea, who's actually in this workshop as well, Andrea did a kind of a trial thing, and she advertised the same thing in Facebook on its own, and the same thing in Instagram on its own, the same amount of followers, you know, kind of an equal apples to apples kind of thing. And she had more clicks and more people interacting with her on Instagram, but it took them from Instagram over to her Facebook page where they got more information. And so it is important on the media side to be able to connect all of that. Like I said, it's like I teach that in the Get Branded, Get Used class. It's in addition to, you know, all of this when you want to market even bigger.
Right.
But um, it's
Split.
interesting how the social medias are changing.
Yeah.
And in September, which is this month, Facebook's changing
Changing
a
again.
whole lot. And thank goodness that we have these ways where we can do the free groups, we can do the free closed groups to create the units, to create these workshops, because that part is not changing.
Right.
And so that is where if you don't have that knowledge and you know, you're an educator and you're just posting, join my class, and sending them away from Facebook
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Mhm.
a website, your reach will be less than 1.6%.
Yeah.
They are making sure that you're staying within the platforms of Instagram and Facebook. And so it's important for us to understand
Understand.
that.
Mhm.
We keep our workshops in Facebook,
Right.
advertise them on Facebook, and now Instagram. And so it's important for us
Right.
to know that and team up together for the education.
Right. You need to understand the algorithm of each platform that you're on. That's, you know, and like you were saying with Andrea, she did a split test. That's what that is, you know, and, you know, knowing the power of what a split test is all about is kind of, you know, that's a whole nother class, but that's
I know,
big.
right?
Yeah.
I
There's a
love
lot.
it. Love it, love it. Maybe all of us that understand the social media and do all these extra
Ah,
classes will
could do
have
a
to create
round
our own
table.
workshop.
Boy, that would be
Yeah, and a
great.
round table thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
All Well, Anita, thanks for coming on. I know that you were on vacation and you were busy, and I just want to say thanks for letting come on and let us introduce you and stuff like that, and share your story and our vision of where we're going with this. And so, those of you that are in our workshop and are just joining, please ask questions,
Hmm.
use us while you have us, and appreciate you for signing up and joining in this
Yeah.
workshop. And I'm excited for you, even if you go as a solo tech and, you know, continue to try this on your own, you know, success to you.
Yeah.
And then if you're ready to try to join up with Anita and I after your pages and your workshops are completely set up, then reach out to us and let
Right.
us know so that we can do an interview and go through
Right.
that process. And
Yeah.
from there, it goes really quick.
Yeah. So we just want to elevate. That's what this is all about. We want to elevate you to whatever level you are, and then make the steps to make you go to the next level. That's what this is about. So empowering each other, and not no competition on that. You know, it's
No.
all about empowering. So that's the beauty of this
Yeah.
whole entire site. So
Yeah.
it's
Yay.
powerful. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
I love it. Well,
So
Anita, I can't wait. I mean, we have like 2 more weeks,
I
and
know.
then I get to meet you face to face finally. And that's where we have a lot more collaboration to come up. And you guys will notice that we're going to do a lot more videos. It's going to be side by side. So there's going
Right.
to be a night where we're going to be up all night doing videos
Yeah.
and make that more known. And so,
So
anyways,
if we look
thank you guys.
tired, it's okay.
So thank you guys for joining us live. Thanks for joining us on replay. We look forward to working with you in the future as well. And Anita, I adore you, and I
I
can't
adore
wait
you
to meet you
too.
face to
I know.
face.
All right. Thanks, everybody.